as well. So, yeah, and then we have just that. I remember looking at stuff about like yeah, and it's like they allow yeah, and because of that now, yeah, and then because of the I love the biggest but I started dancing and I'm like, sorry, I don't have any more choice. You're all right. Like, it takes me there, but no internet. I'm reading and I haven't read it. I love it. So, like, the way she phrases things, I just so
Okay, so apparently I forgot to press record, but that's fine. So discussion points. Yeah, any ideas? Reversible, irreversible. Reverse 10 is basically changed the democracy or parent.
I'd say it's not really reversible at all. If you look at it, Hong Kong's such a small nation, as you said, very the size of London. You know, and those streets are some problems to any outside land. If the British kind of just stayed there, surely you could say what Russia did to Ukraine. Went in, said it was theirs, took it.
Yeah.
And surely the same was going to happen to China. Even look at what's happening to Hong Kong passports, for example. They didn't even say, "Oh, you were from Hong Kong" on the label. They say, you're from China. So I'd say kind of they're raising the culture of Hong Kong, and there's no real Western influence.
Because it's actually interesting to talk about. I think, I think in terms of like legislative reform, I don't think is reversible at all. Like you can't really do anything with it anymore. But is there a revolutionary like reform you can do? I don't know, like possibly, but that's going to be a risk as well. And most people are going to get arrested immediately because like how the law system changed now, and you can't get it at all. So, well.
I think this is very hypothetical, but I think if sort of the CCP did collapse in China, you would probably see it become sort of independent and democratic.
Yeah.
Which could happen because I know they're having a lot of issues at the moment, like potentially going bankrupt.
Yeah, I agree because apparently what we did right now, the only thing we can do is seek like international helps. So the US government and like different government who's pro-democracy that might actually want to take Hong Kong, I don't know, but there will be a chance. Yeah, so
there's another problem with Hong Kong right now. It's the problem of the population of Hong Kong, which has since diminished by a lot because a lot of people from Hong Kong decide that it's not just not worth it and not safe to stay in Hong Kong anymore. They move overseas. And then therefore the Chinese government also starts siphoning people from mainland China to Hong Kong, which also impacts Hong Kong's democracy, as those people have been raised with pro-China ideologies. And as you said, Xi Jinping thoughts, which leads them to a more China-centered nationalist idea.
I will actually talk about that later for the economic impact because of the loss of labor. That would be quite a thing. But welcome to the economy. Now, this is the second side of it, and we're not going to talk about sad things, although it's going to be quite sad if you do see the economy is quite important. But now we're going to talk about more on the economic side, like what's changed. And so, oh no, there's no video. Right. Oh no, I invited like the chief executive in Hong Kong to actually come to PPE, but I don't think he's a bit shy. Yeah, I tried.
How did you get on the last?
Can I just go on YouTube and like search it up?
Yeah, do that.
Oh,
Math.
so yeah, he's probably the highest profile person we have ever invited to PPE. But I do agree with him, the new opportunities in the new Hong Kong, because apparently the old one is no longer there. So before we talk about the collapse, we're going to talk about what makes it that high. So what makes Hong Kong financial heartland is basically the location. First of all, it's been the global trade, like a city, because it's close to the sea. So how global trade in Hong Kong happens with China. So why people is going to be so they want to invest in Hong Kong because of the law system is different to China, but at the same time, it has the relationship with China. So the market of China is too big. You can't really say no to it. Can you? But at the same time, you're going to think, wait a minute, my money, if I get loads of money, the Chinese government probably going to take over them if they're communists. So in Hong Kong, here's a capital based and you're going to be safe. We have a perfect law system. We had a perfect law system to protect you. And we also have skilled workers because, as I said, there's top universities. Hong Kong universities just got revolted. I think it's 17 in the world this year. So you've got loads of skilled labor. And it is a financial heartland in Asia, basically, with similar status in New York. New York is like the USA, part of the financial center, and London is in Europe, and Hong Kong is in Asia. And now it's switched to Singapore, unfortunately, because of what happened. And three key factors to keep a financial city alive is confidence, and confidence, in my opinion. It's confidence. And we're going to talk about the economic policy first, and now we go back to the law system. So, in terms of economic policy, arguably, I would say Hong Kong is the perfect example for how free market capitalism works, because we use a fairly low progressive taxation. So compared to the UK, actually, compared to the UK, we have 2% for the lowest income, which is the third. Fact is 1 pound is 10 Hong Kong dollars. So roughly, but after the first, basically 138,000 Hong Kong dollars. If you get more than 50,000, you are taxed 2% of your income. 17% for the highest income. So the one with the highest will be 17, which is the base in the UK. If you are the lowest income, you are taxing 17% in the UK. But if you are the highest income, you're taxing 17% in Hong Kong. So here is cooperative. They try to definitely, there's loads of investment coming to Hong Kong from different companies globally. So 8.25 for the first 2 millions and 16% for the remainder. And what we use, when I'm doing the research, I just realized we are actually using that. I don't even know that is they call it a scheduler tax, which basically means only incomes under salary tax and property tax are taxed, and the other income, any source of income, are not taxed at all. So how can Hong Kong afford such low taxation system? Because apparently the UK is suffering, but they are taxing way more. So Hong Kong government has a huge reserves and money in their bank account, basically, for like more than 12 months. So the government can basically don't have any money for 12 months, but they can still be able to spend the same amount of money because of what they have in their account. So last check in 2024 is 423 billion in the account, and thanks to Hong Kong monetary authority, because they invest in different like global bonds, like government bonds, and also the stock market. The stock market is really important in Hong Kong as well. It was maybe still is the third biggest one in the world, and Hong Kong had been running a budget surplus for centuries until recent years after 2019. So I will go back to the law system. So, what makes Hong Kong special is basic law. In Hong Kong, we have a law system called Hong Kong Basic Law. It is passed by both British and Chinese government. So it's the aim of it is just basically remains the confidence in Hong Kong, because apparently in 1997, when we are returning back to China, everyone's worried, like, oh, where my money going to go? And so we have a basic law says you are safe. Everything is the same during like the British year, and if you want to do business with China, come to Hong Kong. You're going to be safe if you're scared of the dictatorship there. And basic law is part here, what I said. So it adopts Western democracy like values to ensure like the right of properties and presumptions of innocence, these kind of law concepts. And this act aimed to keep the confidence and the market through China, promising democracy for the future 50 years, which I arguably failed. And pre and post COVID and 2019 protests. So first of all, we have to talk about the balance of payment and the balance of payment of budget fall significantly in 2020 due to COVID, arguably because the loss of confidence as well. And in the long run, economists predict it can hardly recover to like the peak 2012 and 2017 level, because the confidence is no longer there after the protest. So the Hong Kong stock market is quite interesting as well. If you look at the scope, it go up until here, it goes down again back to nearly the 2007, which is the financial crisis level, and 2002 level as well. So it dropped from the peak index with 33,000 to 17,500 in 2023, and it does create like a large panic in the market. And two events we mentioned later, possibly the reason why. And experts suggested if it's impossible to drop to 10,000, but if it does, it's the end of the Hong Kong market and the city will be gone. Not gone, but like will be dead. But today the market recovered to like a 22,000, so that's a good news. And as a result of the raise of interest rate in the USA, so it's quite 2 recent years it goes up a little bit, but not to the peak as well. So now I'm talking about 2 events, basically. The first one, does anyone know who's George Soros at all? So he is a guy, arguably, some people don't like him, many people don't like him. So he attacks markets in the world globally to basically make money for himself. And he's really smart, he knows what he's doing. So in 2019, he attacked Hong Kong once in 1997 because he thinks it's returning back to China and the market's panicking, so that would be the perfect time for him to attack it. And this time in 2019, he said he's defeat China because of his personal political view, his pro-democracy, and he says like, oh, China is doing a horrible thing in Hong Kong, so I would destroy its market. So he's trying to break the Hong Kong dollar, just like last attempt in 1998, and he creates this financial crisis basically. So his company bought a huge amount of stocks in the Hong Kong market, and they're trying to sell it immediately and try to create like a panic and maybe negotiation power with the Hong Kong government, and that basically destroyed confidence and panic selling in the market. So the price market dropped immediately, and as a result, the government does save the market because they have loads of money in their bank. So they have to bought all the stock back and try to calm the economy down, and which led to like a negative impact to the market confidence in the future. And the other one is Ant Group. Anyone knows Ant Group at all? Jack Ma. Jack Ma was the richest guy in the world, and one of his company, Ant Group, is the most famous and biggest online financial firms. So basically, he does like investment and things. And they are trying to do the IPO in Hong Kong in November 2020, but failed because rumors suggested he has like bad relationship with the Chinese government, basically CCP. So the CCP basically stopped the whole IPO. So that's created a huge panic in the market, and everyone cannot trust the market at all, because apparently the biggest company can be stopped by their IPO because just basically saying something in November, in October, because Jack Ma publicly said something that makes the CCP unhappy. So Jack Ma, the founder, now he's actually in University of Hong Kong now, but his company is now basically, you can say, a form of nationalization. So his company was the biggest in China. Now there must be government members in the executive group to see like if that's going to go through, if that's not going to go through. So you can basically say is under a communist control now. And discussion points. Which of these events can we blame? Sorry, that impact the Hong Kong economy the most? 2019, the change of law system and COVID. And the second one is, if you are a business owner, will you invest in Hong Kong nowadays? That's all.
I'd say number one, probably the food test, which I not to get the food test. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. A lot of people sort of I think I'm not a business owner. I think maybe the market is unstable and that creates a big investing in it would be a bad thing. I mean, it would be amazing if when all three crashed happened, no one but I do think that that's a really impact on interest rates yeah. So in that sense, I think that maybe big governments would have made their security contracts in order to save them. It's the only time I can see, like for example, in America, they just and that was probably because they knew that it's kind of oh, Shanghai. And in like when you do like all he like to make how they do they wouldn't be I think I said I was alright. Alex is left out there.
Hello? Yeah, I have to go fairly quick. Any ideas at all? Will?
When they changed the law system sort of started it all, and then I think the protesting COVID didn't help.
Yeah.
Helped it escalate.
Yeah, I would say that as well. I think the law system as well, because it's the based in Hong Kong economy and why it makes it successful, and they basically took that out. We still have the base, like the policies, but we don't have the confidence any longer. And business owner, any business owner here, Karen just on, but no, I would say I will. If you ask me, I will still invest in Hong Kong, because as long as you're not, I think personally, I think as long as you're not as rich as Jack Ma, you should be fine. So in China, if you have to do business with them, you can't be too rich, because if you're too rich, you get their attention and the Chinese government not going to be happy with that. But if you're fairly wealthy, but not as rich as to a level that's going to impact their sovereignty, that should be fine. So yeah, the shift in the economy, I do have a video here, but I'm going to go rid of it. So they basically try to like plan penalties and assessing the expensive costs. So basically, they try to shift the economy. It was the financial services, but now they have to shift it to like basically tourists from China and around the world as well. So acts like fireworks, that's going to cost a lot of money each month. Is in the legislative council and is discussed. I think it's passed as well. And however, this ban cannot be seen as successful due to the expensive cost in Hong Kong, because it's fairly expensive to live in Hong Kong and travel here. So people, even the local, they spend their holiday in mainland China, because that would cost way less and probably get a better experience as well. And yeah, so it is a fail basically. And oh, here's a video, but I don't have time. So basically, here is Tsim Sha Tsui. I will just explain it. Here's Tsim Sha Tsui, a place that where I live. I'm fairly close. I live fairly close there, and one of the luxury mall. Basically, only three shops are remaining, and the other are just empty, because you can see like how the finance is working in Hong Kong, and how the people basically just go back to China and spend their money. So the last thing I'm going to do here is the loss of labor. So I am here, my dad is here, some of my friends are here, some of my friends' parents are here. So they will be a part of the Hong Kong labor. They will be a part of the working force. But now they're in the UK, USA, Canada, and Taiwan, all the places except Hong Kong. So data in 2023 suggested like Hong Kong has lost around like 500,000 population and no less than like 200,000 working force. And these can be really high profile working force, like lawyers, doctors, because these people can afford living in other countries, and also these people trend to be more pro-democracy as well. And Hong Kong now plan to attract skilled workers from China and the world by giving work visa for people who are graduated from top 100 universities and can receive a citizenships in 2 years. So if anyone here wants to work in Hong Kong, you can give it a try. Yeah, so thank you for listening.
Anyone who wants to be on